Cheers!
Happy
Clean
New
Slate
Year.
Club. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, 2026.
That kind of sounds a little bit crazy, but also I kind of feel like 2026 was about 7 years ago. Does that make sense?
What, January's going slowly for you already?
No, but I feel like it should have been 2026 about 7 years ago.
Oh, fair enough. I actually don't really vibe with 2026. Like that number doesn't sit very well with me. I think 25 was quite like a rounded number. But I'm very excited for next year, jumping ahead, 2027, because 27 is my lucky number.
So you like odd numbers?
Maybe that's my thing. Maybe I like odd numbers.
Maybe, but I'm like an even numbers kind of girl.
Oh. So obviously we've entered 2026. Where are you at going into this year?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't want to sound dramatic, but 2025 was like the best year of my entire life.
I love this for you.
So like 2026 is a bit intimidating because I'm now like, how do I make 2026 as good as 2025? Like or even better. It's like the pressure is on.
Yeah.
But I didn't celebrate New Year's this year. I know.
I can't believe that because when I last saw you had these plans. You were ready. So like, what changed? Like, why did you think you're just not gonna?
My girly pops got ill.
Oh,
so
the flu is going.
The flu is going around.
She's not messing.
No, my girly pops got ill, and I was like, you know what? Your girl's going through the ringer anyway. So like, I just kind of read a book and then went to sleep, like a bit like a grandma.
Did you see the New Year in?
No, I was asleep. I woke up and I looked at my clock and I was like, oh my gosh, it's midnight.
Do you know what? I actually do feel like a grandma too because I do think New Year's is a little bit overrated. I do think living in London, there has to be one year that I'd go and see the fireworks.
Yes.
But I don't want to see it like from a ticket point of view. Like I want to go to like a penthouse in Westminster.
Like, get a really good view for free. Or you're in a boat.
So if anyone has a penthouse in Westminster this year, let us know. But I literally just went to the pub. I saw some of my partner's friends, which was really nice. We went for a meal.
Nice.
And then we had quite a lot to drink and I was asleep by 10:30. But we set an alarm. We woke up at 11:30 and we went down to the pub for the countdown.
Oh no, that's fun though.
But I was like, I woke up and my partner was like, your eyes are absolutely bloodshot. You look like I smoked like 3 doobies. Because I was like in a state of unconscious when that alarm went off. I was like, I can't bring myself to go out. Also, it's freezing.
It's so cold.
It's absolutely Baltic. And I was like, why are we doing this? But
why are we doing this to ourselves?
I just couldn't bring myself to like just stay in and not see the new year in.
I know, it's the first time I've ever done it in my entire life.
And do you feel any different?
No.
Cheers to 2026.
We're going to make this the best
year
ever.
of the horse.
Yes. So I read an article, basically, obviously saw it on TikTok, that last year was the year of the snake. So like you're shedding all of your layers, all of the things that you've been holding on to, you've been shedding. And then 2026 is the year of the horse where everything's going like full force ahead.
I like this.
Yeah.
Considering I wasn't like excited about going to the year. I mean, we'll go on to it in a second, but like I lost my job. No, I didn't lose my job. I left my job.
Yeah.
So it's like a new year of like change and like new beginnings. So I think that I was a bit like apprehensive going into this year. But when you told me about this horse thing, I was like, actually, do you know what? That's like really spurred me on.
Yeah, a little bit of motivation.
Shed the skin, like got rid of maybe like bad toxins that we didn't need, left that in 2025. And it's like now the year of the horse, like we're just going to go for it.
Yeah, 100%. Like what have we got to lose?
Our whole concept of this talk show is Clean Slate Club. So all new beginnings, clean slates. Talk me through you going last year and leaving your job. Because that's crazy. Your story's crazy.
My story is a little bit crazy.
It is.
Okay, so I'm going to try and keep this as quick as possible because it's a long ass story, right? But when I moved to London, I went to fashion school. So I went to London College of Fashion and I got a fashion degree. But in my second year of fashion school, I got my first ever fashion job. And I was a buyer at Matches Fashion, which is now dead in the water, rest in peace. But then I moved to Selfridges. I was buying fashion at Selfridges. And I had the best 2 years of my life. I was living like my Devil Wears Prada moment. But then I got promoted into the beauty industry. And I was like, no, sis, this is not for me. But that kind of job sounds like a dream job to any girl because you spend every single day looking at makeup and you buy makeup. But then I hit a point where I was like, I don't want to buy and sell lipsticks for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like there were so many perks to the jobs and the people was great and I've got enough makeup to start my own boot store, like no joke. But I just knew that I wanted more for myself. I've always been very creative, but I grew up in a family which was like, you need to have a 9-to-5 job and you need to make money. But then I moved to London and I was like, the creatives are where it's at. It's a very scary jump to go from corporate to self-employed and creative, but I kind of hit a rock bottom and I decided there's nothing that could have gone even worse than the state that I was currently in. It was like September of last year and my housemate was sick of me saying that I hate my job and I need to do something different because there's only a certain amount of times that you can say it until you have to do something about it. And all my friends were like, Isabelle, you're destined for so much more. You should try acting. And I was like, me? I used to be like the donkey in the school play. Maybe
Not
once.
to brag, I actually was Mary in the nativity. Main character vibes.
Someone dropped a penny with me that I should try acting, and I was like, you know what? I've got absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But one thing with me is if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to like 110%. Like I don't do 50%.
That's a really good attitude to have, by the way.
Thank you. But I'm like, what's the point in like just dipping your toe in when you can go full force? So I went full force and I spent money, a lot of money, on a 6-week acting course at RADA. And I tell you what, I had the time of my absolute life. But I went, and I honestly will put the experience down to the people that I was with, because I could have gone there and I could have been surrounded by anyone.
Yeah.
But I went there, and during the time I was going through like a major health scare, that's a story for another day, but I had about 4 weeks off work. So I was able to like fully submerse myself in this experience, and I've made some of my lifelong friends.
Oh, I love that.
And I went and I felt like it was therapy in a way, because a lot of acting is kind of revealing the layers that you've been keeping under like closed doors for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And obviously it was like scary because I'd not done it since I was like 8 years old.
Also, it's the unknown. Like you've just gone and graduated with a fashion degree, and you're going into a completely different industry.
Yeah.
So it's like that probably helped you, maybe.
Yeah, and everyone thought I was crazy. And when people tell me they think I'm doing something stupid, I'm gonna go and do it. Like I'm
that
just
just
that kind of
spurs
person.
you on even more.
Yeah. And I left RADA in October of 2024, and during that 6-week period I handed my notice into my job. That was a 3-month notice period, and I remember being so nervous.
Gosh, it's really scary.
Oh, it's so scary. Like living in London, it's expensive, and I had
Don't we know it? Yeah.
no idea how I was going to make money. I had no idea. I've got like a contract to a flat that I've got to adhere by.
This is me, by the way.
I was like, well, I can't go back now, so I've got to make it work. So I went to RADA, and then I left my job in February officially of 2025, and I've been acting and creating content ever since.
When I first met you, so like a little bit of story time, which I'm sure we'll go into the story a few times, but we literally met on the street.
Yeah.
Like that sounds wild.
It does sound wild.
We met on the street. I was working for a dating app. You were doing Vox Pops as well. So if people don't know Vox Pops, like you do interviews on the street, and we interviewed each other, and our video went really well. Not viral, but it did pretty well on socials. And I got calls from people in the industry being like, this interview was amazing, like you two had such chemistry. And I was like, why don't we get together and like plan, like it's 2026, like it's the year of like, as you said, like giving things a go and trying. So it's like, why not create a little talk show, little chit chat with the girlies?
Chit chat with the girlies.
And hence why Clean Slate Club's here.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it because there are so many ways of having a new beginning. Like you can start a year and be like, oh my God, new beginnings, but you can start a new beginning tomorrow. Like
100%.
I started a new beginning for my entire life on a random Thursday in the middle of like December.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And there's so many ways you can do it. It can be a career, it can be your friends, it can be relationships, it can be...
I know, and that's the thing that's so exciting about like the clean slate. It's like what you said is every day can be that clean slate. It's
100%.
like you said, it can just be random, like Wednesday where you might be leaving your job, or you might meet someone in the street and who becomes a great friend. I think it's like, you've got to just take that leap. And like, I love the saying that a risk is not a risk unless you don't take it.
Yeah.
Which I love, because I also think like, and for me in our industry, like never say no to an opportunity, because you have no idea. Like if I didn't go out that day and film, I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah.
Like everything happens for a reason. Like I'm a bit like cosmic. I do believe in like everything happens for a reason. And I just think it's something, when something like that comes along, it's really exciting and you can't really ignore it.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think when it comes to clean slates and like moving on, I think a lot of people can probably relate to the fear of the unknown as well. Like we both sit here, we left our jobs to try something new. Yeah. Which is like a common denominator for us, and that's why we talk about clean slate. But it's incredibly scary as well.
Yeah, tell me your situation.
Well, yeah, so I worked in TV for 7 years.
Wow.
So I was not fortunate, I worked really, really hard. When I left my A-levels, I worked at Pets at Home. Shout out Pets at Home. And I was applying actively every day for jobs in media because I was really determined not to go to university. I was like, I've got a basic level knowledge of TV. Like my A-level course was amazing. We had our own broadcast studio at school. Wow. So like I had a really basic knowledge of TV. Like we're talking basic, but it was still a knowledge. I applied for 120 jobs and I got one interview.
That's crazy.
So I applied for like Channel 4, ITV, BBC, all the apprenticeships, got absolutely nothing. I was like actively messaging people on LinkedIn being like, please, like, is this application okay?
Yeah.
Honestly got nowhere. And I applied for one job at QVC, the shopping channel.
Okay.
And it was to be like someone who looks after the product. So it wasn't even like in the studios. So I went for the interview in London, and bear in mind, I'm from Bedfordshire. So I was like, this is like big girl stuff. I was 19.
It's big girl stuff.
I was like dual dressing up my interview clothes. Stayed in London the night before because I was like, I didn't want to miss the interview. Like I planned the route. I went the day before my interview. I went to the place that the interview was because I didn't want to like get the route wrong. Like that's how hard.
Dedication.
Yeah, it is. And when I went for the interview, I'll never forget it. I was sat there and it was like the head of broadcasting. She interviewed me. She was a fantastic lady. And then she left the interview and I sat there and I was like, what's happening?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then she comes back with like this massive wad of paper, slides it over the table. And I'm like, what's going on? Because obviously I haven't been to interviews in like telly or broadcasting. I'm like, is this normal? I'm like, I just sat there for 20 minutes by myself.
Yeah.
And she's like, we'd like to offer you a job, but it's not for the one you applied for.
Oh.
And I read the top line of the paper and it says a studio coordinator position, which is like a step above. And then it said underneath, qualification required, degree. And I went, I don't have a degree. I said, I was panicking going, I'm a fraud. They're offering me a job and I don't have the degree. And they went, we know, but we want to give you a chance.
That's incredible.
And I literally just got goosebumps. And I remember phoning my dad being like, I can't believe it. Like they've just offered me a job, but it's like a graduate position.
Well done.
So after that call, I moved to London by myself at 19. I lived in a room with an old lady, a lovely old lady and her daughter, really close to where the studios were.
Yeah.
And then I just worked my way up from there.
That's insane. It's literally one yes can change your entire life.
Because that job wasn't even necessarily like a job I wanted to do, but it was like a foot in the door. So I was like, I had to take the opportunity.
Yeah.
And obviously I'd been quite unsuccessful with other jobs. So I was like, this could be my one lucky break. And it really, really was. Recently, I was working in news. I was there for about 3.5 years. I was promoted to head of department and working in the studio side of things, looking after all the talent and all the guests, etc. And then they were offering a round of redundancy. And I thought, you know what, this is my time to go. This is my calling. And like you said, it's so scary.
So scary.
Leaving a job. I'm 26 now. And it's like leaving a job. I've got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Council tax.
Girl.
Gas and electric. Don't even get me started. It's very expensive. I was terrified. But I'm like, I've never been happier since leaving.
Honestly, I think just taking that initial leap is the scariest part. And then when you're in a position where you have to make it work, you make it work.
The fire, the rocket under my the rocket under my ass to make it happen. It's like I've never had that feeling before. And I also think because the hours that I was doing when I was in telly, I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was finishing at midnight. It was very unsociable hours. And if there was an event, like I've been quite fortunate, the contacts I've made, I've done a couple of red carpets. And done a few premieres and films like that. So I would never have got those opportunities had I not been there.
Yeah.
But I've solidified those contacts and now I've got the flexibility to go and do those things that I wouldn't have if I was still there.
Yeah.
So everything happens for a reason.
And it's a blessing and a curse being self-employed.
100%.
Because, I mean, if you're comfortable working your 9 to 5, girl, do that. Yeah. But if it's not for you, the world is so much bigger. Yeah. And I don't think there is enough education about going self-employed because when you
know nothing.
No one knows
I'm panicking. When it comes to tax returns, I'm panicking. Why does no one teach me this?
I have no idea.
No, I'm like contacting all my friends who are self-employed. I'm like, what do I do?
No,
like,
I have no idea.
I'm terrified, but I'm just putting aside a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But then people are like, oh, your train ticket you can expense. And I'm like, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Where does that money go?
Exactly.
Where does it come from?
Exactly.
Like no one talks about this.
No, and you really just kind of have to put one foot in front of the other to make it. And then I think you eventually work it out. But genuinely, the majority of people in this industry have no idea what they're doing, and
we're all
that's
just getting by.
Yeah, and that's okay though.
Yeah, 100%.
At the end of the day, if you're doing something that is more stable, is making you so unhappy, would you prefer to get to 80 and think I worked a 9 to 5 that I hated my entire life?
This is exactly what I was about to say. Like for me, taking that leap to go self-employed and trying to make the dream job happen, working events, presenting, chit-chatting to friends. Love it. If I get to like 45 and I have children and they turn to me one day and they tell me what their dream job is, if I turn around to them and say, no, you can't go and do that, then I feel like an absolute fraud because you get one life. And it's so important to put yourself first. Yeah. Like you have to live your life for you.
100%.
You can't live vicariously through other people. Like if you have a dream and you think you can achieve it, and I said this the other day to someone, that if you've got the right people around you and the right financial backing, what is stopping you?
Exactly. That's so
there's
true.
nothing stopping you. And I can look back if I get to 45 and go, do you know what? it went nowhere. I tried it for a year. It was the best year of my life, but it didn't work out. Then I'll go, that is okay because I tried.
Yeah, 100%. That's all you can do.
No. And I think also like whether that's a new hobby or like a new job or anything, you've just got to try.
You do just have to try. And at the end of the day, if you want to make it work, you will make it work.
100%.
You will.
100%.
Because when I started this, I had absolutely no clue what I'm doing. I still don't. You don't always have to have a plan.
Yeah.
You have to have an idea of what you want to do and try and figure out how you can get there. But the most important thing is enjoying in the process of becoming. If you have a big goal, a big goal can seem so far away and you have every single day to get closer to that one goal, but you're never going to achieve that goal if you don't enjoy in the process of becoming. Because say you want to be some big A-star celebrity and you're trying so hard and you don't appreciate the little wins and the little steps forward, you'll be so miserable and by the point you'll give up. And I think there's so much beauty in failure and so much beauty in risk, because you can have a rubbish day, but it doesn't mean that the next day is going to be any better or any worse. And you can see so many positive sides from a bad day because you can learn from that.
Oh my gosh, I
so
love this.
It's really just kind of like living in the moment, saying yes to what you can and just enjoying the ups and downs, because life isn't all sunshine and rainbows, but you can see beauty in the things that go really wrong as long as you keep going. Even the small wins, you do just have to recognise them and be your own biggest supporter. Like it is not vain and it's not selfish. Like I am openly my own biggest supporter, because if I don't celebrate my own wins, who else will?
I think we are such like self-saboteurs.
Yeah, 100%.
And then it's like, you're right. I think we live in such a culture, especially like people our age, that we feel almost guilty for feeling proud of what we've achieved, or like even like with our looks and stuff, it's like, oh, like when someone says, oh, you look so pretty, it's like, oh, thank you. Like you feel, I feel like guilty, like being like, oh, thank you. Like I don't know, I think it's maybe it's like a British thing.
I think it could be a British thing, but it's funny, like, because you don't want to be too extreme in like, oh my god, I'm the best person ever, but you also don't want to be self-deprecating.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's a very fine middle ground. Whether you like speak openly about it or just like sit in your bedroom and acknowledge like, girl, I did that. Like, it's finding that middle ground. Cheers to Clean Slate Club.
I love it.
Stay tuned for the next episode.